What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Thespian coming at you with a new one, and today we got some Granblue versus Rising news. Now, this news is probably going to be the most divisive that we've seen so far because yeah, there's some big changes. Today we're gonna break down the new system mechanics that they've shown in Granblue versus. As of the recording of this vid, we are 1 day away from the beta, and if this part makes it into the video, it means that I am going to do a giveaway for some codes for Granblue Fantasy Versus. Just stick to the end of the vid, guys, and you can find out how y'all can get access if you don't have it yet for the early access beta. With that said, we are going to cover all the news because there is one mechanic that was changed in this game that a lot of people have different opinions on. We're gonna go ahead and cover that, so let's go ahead and dive in. But before we do, guys, make sure to give this vid a like, share, and subscribe. Help support the channel, and follow me on Twitch, where we're going to be playing Granblue versus all weekend long during the beta, as well as other fighting games are out right now. Twitch.tv/ThespianLive. Granblue has put out a website detailing all the battle system as well as the characters. Basically, it shows all the information that we already know, including the new mechanics like the ultimate skills, the new auto combo system, as well as the new parry and the raging strikes that are in the game. It also shows up some new updates that the game has regarding some existing battle systems. The first one that we're going to cover is the bravery point. So here it's a diagram showing you everything from the HP, the skill icon, everything. But as you can see here, this is the new deal with Granblue versus, is you have these things called bravery points. These are going to be used for you to use your new brave counter as well as the raging strike. You only have 3 every single round. If you deplete 3, you're gonna be in a staggered state. So this is gonna be another resource to manage, guys, if you're trying to use the counter as well as the raging strike. The other thing that's different with the game is the basic controls. Now we're gonna cover some of the issues with the new control system, but the big one right here that we're gonna focus on is dash. So dash is now a macro 2L2 or whatever other macro you want to set it to. A lot of people have a lot of opinions over dash macro. For me, guys, oh my god, I am so hyped, guys. Like, y'all don't understand. Let me have this, please. So ever since Guilty Gear Strive, I have been spoiled with dash macro. Every time I play a game that's not Strive, I'm like, man, I wish this game had dash macro. I wish this game had dash macro. Granblue finally has one, which I'm very excited. I know, guys, I know I'm spoiled. I know I'm a zoomer, but just let me have this, please. So we got a dash macro in Granblue versus. This game might be top 5, honestly. Going to basic actions, it gives you a breakdown of all the skills and variations, as well as the new auto combo system. As I mentioned, with the last hit, you can either make it high, low, or mid, just doing the different inputs, which is a pretty good change. It also explains the dash attack more with, again, you have a high, a low, and a mid. And because there is a dash attack now, it kind of makes sense why they would want to make it into a macro, kind of simplify a little bit. It also shows off the new SBA gauge, which you can now use it on ultimate skills. So these are the overpowered skills that every character has. Every character has a different one. Instead of spending it the full super, you can do half for an ultimate skill, or the regular Skybound and Super Skybound art that uses the full 100% super meter. And then finally, the universal skill. So like I mentioned, this is going to be the new mechanics that are in the game. The first one, Raging Strike, basically does this big attack that staggers you. It does a guard crush and it depletes a bravery point. Does require 25% of the SBA gauge. If you lose all 3, you are going to get staggered. So this is another thing y'all got to keep an eye out. The next one is Raging Chain. So this costs 25% of your meter additional from the Raging Strike as well as the bravery point. This is your follow-up. If you get successful Raging Strike, you can go into the chain, which is this dash that you can follow up with another attack. This does require basically 50% of the SBA gauge to perform Raging Strike into Raging Chain. Again, does remind me of Drive Rush in Street Fighter 6. However, it is a little bit different. I can see the similarity with it. And lastly, Brave Counter. This costs half of your SBA gauge as well as 1 bravery point, and this is your big get off of me. This is your V reversal. This is your get out of jail free card. Basically, it's a counter that if successful, it pushes the opponent all the way back. If they do block it, it does give you a quick recovery, so you do get the advantage back. Whether you hit or miss, it just pushes them away so you can start again, hopefully get your game plan started. And guys, as far as the characters, I'm not going to go over everything, but it does give you a diagram of all of their moves and their supers and everything. However, this is the part where I did want to talk about the biggest changes with Granblue Versus. On Twitter, for those that probably already know at the time of this vid, they have announced that skills perform using both the simple and technical inputs will have the exact same properties. There is no difference in power. This has basically gotten a lot of people talking over the balance changes that this is going to apply. So for those that don't know, they're uninformed, Granblue Versus has both simplified motions as well as traditional motions that are in every fighting game. You have the option of doing a traditional motion for a special move or a simplified version. So for example, Gran's projectile is a quarter circle forward with a punch. If you opt to do the simplified version, it's just pressing R1, whatever button you have the special move mapped to. And the main difference is that there was a damage reduction as well as a cooldown reduction if you use the simplified version. So if you use the traditional, you get the full damage and the cooldown is faster compared to you using the simplified version. This also applied with supers, and depending on the character, it kind of made the SBAs a little finicky. Some you would get the full damage, some you wouldn't get the full animation. It just really depends on the character. With this change in Granblue Versus Rising, there is no difference. They basically made it that simplified and technical both have the same properties. There is no difference. So it's basically a buff to those using the simple inputs. And yeah, guys, I mean, the opinions are out there. You can kind of tell the gravity of this change. A lot of people have been disagreeing with this change from the devs. There's a lot of people saying that this is a win for, you know, the anti-boomer generation, if you will. Now, from my perspective, guys, I always thought that the system was almost perfect. There were some instances of this game developing some, you know, kind of grimy OSs involving the simplified skills as well as some of the other macros in the game, but I felt that it was a pretty good system and almost kind of the originator of the formula. I always thought that Granblue Versus kind of was the trailblazer. Like, a lot of current fighting games after Granblue came out have a lot of inspirations from it. You just have to look a little closer, but I always thought it was cool. You know, you have the option of doing the optimal combo. You do everything that your opponent can do using traditional inputs. You just don't have the full benefit. That can kind of motivate you to sit down in the lab, grind a little bit more, and get good with all the technical inputs, and now you have the full benefit. I really thought that it was a good option. You can do both at the same time. With a game like Street Fighter 6, it's either you're picking classic or you're picking modern. You don't have the option to do both. In Granblue, you did. For me personally, I would be mashing forward special move so I can get my DP out. I'm not gonna get hoed by the, you know, me messing up the input on the Shoryu. I'm gonna get this EX Shoryu out. I'm gonna do it, and it's gonna be simple. This, like I said, is probably the biggest change to Granblue Versus aside from the new mechanics. It's basically changing the game, and for a lot of people, it's basically deleting the entire purpose of having technical inputs because there's no benefit, there's no upgrade to it. It's just one or the other. So to be honest, from my perspective, it kind of makes me just want to use the simple versions, especially because, you know, you're not going to have any benefit. Why do a little bit more work where you can just get the same thing? I just feel that's par for the course of all of the modern fighting games that have been coming out. It's all about simplification. It's all about modernizing a fighting game, letting everyone have the ability to play this game at whatever skill level you have. And for one side, it definitely is the right call if the goal is to have everyone playing this game, especially for a game of like Granblue Versus, where it definitely suffered. It came out during that little renaissance the FGC had when it was pushing rollback. It was pushing for better quality, as well as coming out right before a whole global pandemic that definitely squandered the game's growth for a long time. I definitely understand the sentiment of why they want to just have everyone play this game because this is a big update. Like, I really feel that as far as packaging goes, it's very similar to SF6. So a lot is riding on this game, and so far it's looking really good. At the same time, I definitely feel that this is a band-aid solution. Like, I sound like a broken record because we've always talked about game balance over at the Twitch, which y'all should definitely tune in if you want to partake. But I always felt that these solutions of modernizing a fighting game and simplifying it, I don't really feel that that's the answer to having everyone play your game. Because the way I see it is you're trying to have the solution to something that was never fully taught. It took a long time for fighting games to actually sit down and explain to you game mechanics, and in some ways they never really did that. To learn a fighting game, a lot of players had to go peer to peer or look on forums. That it was never naturally from the game itself, and it's been like that for almost 2 decades now. With simplifying a game, it's like you're simplifying something you never even bothered to teach. Is that going to change with this? Only time will tell. I feel that this change isn't going to necessarily turn a lot of people off from Granblue. I feel that you shouldn't be worried. It's like, oh, I'm gonna get trashed on for using simple motions, because if it's in the game, it's free real estate. Go ahead. You're gonna be playing the same game other people playing it. There's gonna be the same discussions with classic and modern players in Street Fighter 6 right now, where it's like, oh, one's better than the other. For those that are going to be using the simple motions, go ahead. It's yours for the taking. I know I'm probably going to change my playstyle if this is going to be the way the game is going to pan out. Let me know what y'all think, guys, because like I said, this is a very, very big change. I've expressed how I view it. I definitely want to know how y'all feel about it. Do you agree with this change, or is this not the wave? Because every player has already spoken on it online, from pros to casuals to spectators. This is very, very huge. Like, I hope y'all understand the gravity of this change, because it's kind of basically it's changing the game more than the Rising update is, if I'm being honest. But let me know down in the comments. I would love to see how y'all feel about it. And that's gonna be it for the vid, guys. Like I said, it's a lot of news right now, as the game is about to launch its beta very, very soon. We're finding out all this information right now. If anything changes at the time of this vid, I'll definitely do an update for y'all, either another vid or a post online. Let me know what y'all think about all these changes down below. And like I said, guys, we are going to be playing this game first day it drops, so feel free, guys, follow me on that Twitch. We're gonna be playing this all weekend long. Y'all trying to get games with me, trying to learn. Obviously your boy's using Siegfried all weekend, so y'all trying to know anything about Siegfried, this is the place to be. And I will catch y'all on the next one. Take care. Alright, guys, and that wraps up this video. If this part makes it into this vid, that means that these codes are free no matter the console. So your boy is doing a giveaway, guys. I do have some extra codes for Granblue versus Rising, 4 to be exact. So I am going to be giving away these codes so y'all can play the beta a little bit earlier. It is going to be open beta during the weekend, but with these you can play as soon as I'm playing. So y'all trying to catch hands with the boy, go ahead, I dare you. All you have to do is tune in on my Twitch, twitch.tv/thespianlive. We're going to be giving these codes away live during the beginning of the stream. That way, whoever wins, they get the full time to play this beta. Doesn't matter if you're a pro, doesn't matter if you're new to the game. Anyone can enter. All y'all gotta do is sub to the channel and follow me on Twitch. Like I said, we're going to be giving away these codes live. I only have 4, and they're all PS5 codes. Still giving them away. Hopefully, one of y'all gets them, and if so, I hope y'all enjoy Granblue Fantasy Versus. Until then, guys, I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Alright, guys, and update number 3. God damn, there's too much news. I basically just woke up, and this is the first post I see. The creative director for Granblue versus Rising did respond to all of the criticism and all of the debates happening, and to sum it all up, guys, yeah, this change to the simple inputs is happening. They feel that this is the direction they want to take the game. They are very confident after a lot of debating and everything. So, yeah, you can pause the video so you can read the entire breakdown. I'm not going to go over everything, but let me know in the comments if you do want me to do a whole breakdown on the response. I could definitely do that, but yeah, we'll see if they're right or not. But until then, I'll see y'all all in the beta. Peace.